Okay, now we've already sous vided these guys, which means they're cooked to a perfect 131 degrees. They're medium rare. They're done inside. But the problem with sous vide is, look at that steak. Can you see that, baby? It is just butt ugly. And you want a sear on the outside of a steak. That sear is a chemical reaction. It's called the Maillard reaction. It's when heat converts the proteins and the amino acids and some of the little bit of reducing sugars in here, and it creates new flavors. And that's the crust of a steak, the crust of a prime rib roast. Everybody loves that crust. So what we're going to do is we're going to build the crust really fast because they're cooked. We don't want to put it in the oven or in the grill and overcook them. They're exactly medium rare in the center, 131 degrees, and that's maximum juiciness and flavor. So what we're going to do is we're going to put a grate on top of this charcoal chimney. Now, energy. We're talking energy. Energy is much more important than heat, much more important than temperature. Each one of these briquettes is an element of energy. One layer of them is hot. 2 layers of them is twice as hot. 3 layers is 3 times as hot. We've got about 6 layers of energy of charcoal briquettes built up in here. So that's a massive amount of energy built up in here. So we're coming out of here. That's well over 1,000 degrees. I call this the Afterburner because it's like the back end of an F-16. And so we're going to take this steak and we're going to throw it on here. Can you hear it? And it'll start sizzling, and it'll take about 3 or 4 minutes per side max, and you got to keep turning it because it'll burn. We've already got some grill marks. I recently did this for a sous vide conference and did 500 of these in 4 hours in 100-degree temperature. I had 3 of these babies lined up. It was cool. And I was putting 2 on at a time. So I had 6 going at a time, and I just kept rotating them through. Now the other thing is you can see we're getting grill marks. Now grill marks are nice, everybody wants grill marks, but grill marks are Maillard reaction. Grill marks are flavor, but we don't want crosshatch grill marks. All the cookbooks tell you how to get beautiful crosshatch grill marks. Those are Maillard reaction flavor, but we want all over flavor. All the spaces in between those grill marks is unfulfilled potential. We want it a dark brown, even on all sides, edge to edge. That's maximum flavor. Grill marks on a steak, forget about it. Now look at that. Look at that. That is packed with flavor. Let's see what she looks like. Perfect medium rare in the center. Now, I say perfect medium rare. Food scientists actually have a gizmo called the Warner-Bratzler machine, and it's an artificial tooth, and they'll use it to press down on meat to see how much pressure it takes to cut through it. And the Warner-Bratzler machine tells us that when the meat is cooked to medium rare, which is in the 130 to 135 range, it is most tender and most juicy. And here's another thing that's really important. Pink, the juices. People really freak out about the juices. They think it's blood. It's not blood, it's water. This steak is 70% water. There's no blood in it. At the slaughterhouse, all the blood is removed. Every time you serve this and the juices come running out and you say, anybody want some blood on their steak? Somewhere in Indiana, a bell rings and a teenager becomes a vegan. It's not blood, it's just pink water that exudes from the steak, and it's pink due to a protein called myoglobin, and that's why it's pink in here. And the longer you cook it, the myoglobin turns brown with time and temperature. And that's what a well-done steak is. It's brown. All the myoglobin, all the water, seized up, dried up, and it's dry. So medium rare, 130, 135. If you want to go to medium, 135 to 140. Rare is 120 to 130, but when it's rare, it's a little stringy. So there we go. That is just a beautiful steak, isn't it? This piece is cut uneven. That's what steak's meant to taste like. That was not an act. Okay, I've got cherry tomatoes, and we just picked them the other day. And you take the cherry tomatoes and you poke 3 or 4 holes in them with a sharp knife, and you put them on a smoker at around 225. It takes 5 or 6 hours, but they shrink down to like raisins. They're soft like a raisin. They're tender, and they concentrate the sugar. It's like sun-dried tomatoes, but it's as sweet as any raisin you've ever tasted. Fantastic on a salad, baked into a focaccia on a pizza. Just sun-dried tomatoes, poke a few holes, throw them on the smoker, walk away, come back 5, 6 hours when they're like raisins, go straight to heaven.